What's up, vinyl community? Cliff, the vinyl cheapskate here. Uh, just sitting in the basement. I was hanging out with the family. Figured, hey, you know what? Been a minute since I did a video. Maybe I'll go do a quick YouTube video. Why not? Well, I've been meaning to make for a little bit. It's a collection update for my 80s metal collection. Got a nice little stack of records here. Some stuff I haven't talked about yet. At least I don't think I have. If I have, and you remember, let me know, because I don't remember. And if I don't remember, you shouldn't remember either. But anyway. I got a nice little stack. Some 80s metal records here. 80s metal, 80s hard rock, that kind of stuff. Kind of a sucker for that stuff still. Kind of love it. Still have to do my Metal Cannon video. I haven't buckled down and did that. I pulled the records for it, but I haven't done it yet. But no, these are just things that I recently... So like within like the last 3 months, I think. 3 or 4 months even. Maybe even the last 6 months. But this is a bunch of stuff that I've bought semi-recently that I've never showed on the channel. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into some... There's a good mix here. There's some thrash. There's some like straight up more hard rock and stuff. But yeah, all stuff that I've picked up. I think all of this was online. Yeah, pretty much all this is online stuff. But yeah. Start off with a quick one. Since I'm from Jersey, we'll start off with some Jersey Dogs here. Jersey Dogs was I think they're pretty short-lived thrash metal band, obviously from New Jersey. This is an EP, got 4 songs on it. Just good, kind of run-of-the-mill, crossover-y thrash metal stuff. Kind of a cheesy cover, but I kind of love it. Don't Worry, Get Angry. Property of WLFM, so radio station copy. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Wasted World, Who's to Blame, Another Pretty Day. Just like I said, kind of run-of-the-mill, good, solid thrash metal. It's only 4 songs. This was cheap, as it probably should be, on Wild Rags Records, which there's some good shit on Wild Rags. So definitely check this out. You get a chance. Good stuff. So that's the first one. Like I said, there's not much to say about this one. It's not like a classic or like super obscure or hard to find or anything. It was just, I didn't own it and I thought it was cool. It's a good record. It's not bad at all. But pretty sick record. Listening to Annihilation Time right now. So no 80s metal in the background, just some sick rock and roll punk. Here's one that I was after for a while, and it's really up. I may have showed this already. I don't know, but English Dogs Metamorphosis is another EP. Only 3 songs on the whole thing, but super sick. I love the English Dogs when they went full on thrash metal, and this is like right when they started doing that. But yeah, super great. English Dogs are a classic band. I've got a bunch of their records over there, but I kind of was like sleeping on this one, and found it at a good price online. For the artwork. The artwork's super cool. But yeah, wherever you land with English Dogs, I like their punk stuff and I like their more punky stuff, and I like their thrashy stuff. So, sick band all the way through. This is on Combat. So this is the U.S. Combat on the Combat Core label, camo label. So OG. I was pretty stoked to pick this up when I got it. And I believe this was a Discogs cop. Same with the Jersey Dogs was also Discogs. Here's one if you like the more hard rockin' end. Alcatraz, No Parole for Rock and Roll. This is a banger. If you like that 80s hard rock that's just kind of bordering on heavy metal. There's some heavy metal riffs on here. But yeah, this is more of a hard rock record, but super sick. One that I've meant to pick up for a while, but it seems to keep creeping up, and I don't know if it is really worth a ton. It's not worth a ton anyway, but I see people putting it like $20 and above, and I'm thinking I can't bring myself to pay more than like $10, $12 for this record. And I finally found it at that price, which is why I picked this up. Alcatraz, good band, but like I said, it's not like this is like a hidden gem or a rare record at all. It's just, I guess as soon as you hit up the heavy metal label, you get lumped into that, and then people think they just want to gouge it, but I'm not falling for it. So yeah, I picked this up for cheap. It was like $12. Alcatraz, No Parole for Rock and Roll. Another classic. This is gonna be a quick one because I picked a lot of these records up a while ago, and I honestly don't have that much to say about them because I've only listened to them a handful of times, and my 80s metal collection is more, it's like collecting relics to me. In a good way, and I will listen to them. I just haven't been in a huge heavy metal mood lately, so I haven't been listening to a ton of it. But these will all stick around. They'll all stay, and they'll all get spun eventually. Another one, another classic I've been looking for a while. That's Bitch's Be My Slave album. Yeah, this is really a sick record. Bitch plays pretty ripping, traditional heavy metal with a little bit of touch of speed metal in it. And Betsy's got great vocals. Super awesome record. This is on Metal Blade. One of the early. Actually, I think the Bitch debut may have been the first Metal Blade record. I think. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. There's some issues with this. I got it for dirt cheap. Like this whole thing with this is just like stuck on there. Should probably put it in a new sleeve, a new inner, I think. But yeah, the record's in great shape. It's just there's some water damage on the. It must have been out of the sleeve and got wet because it doesn't look like there's much water damage on the sleeve, but the inners, it came with all the inners, but the inners are all beat up. So, but still cool to have. I'm not one that really cares about how good or bad the inners are. They're cool to have, and I do like having them, but like, you know, I think I paid $10 for this record, and you see there's like some chips on the side too. So it's not a perfect record, but nothing that affects play. So, and it was cheap. I got it on the cheap. I think I bought it because the price was right. I saw it and I jumped, and they had mentioned all the issues with the condition, but whatever. Still a sick record to have in the collection. I'm actually going to put this on next, I think. But I love this band. More thrash. This was an eBay grab. Actually, lowball bid this one, and I won it. It was super. It was. I don't remember how much I paid for it. But I remember I lowballed it. Nobody else bid on it. But yeah, Violence, Eternal Nightmare. This is the 40th anniversary edition here. It was at the Relapse Records. Oh, 40th of Relapse Records. So this came out in 2022. So it's not this thing's 40th anniversary. It's the Metal Blade's 40th anniversary. And it's a nice package. Looks just like the original, I'm thinking. Well, not just like. I think the labels are probably different. But yeah, black vinyl. More Metal Blade. Usually I'll pick up almost anything Metal Blade. Almost. Came with this sick inner with a bunch of flyers on it. Pictures of the band and such. But yeah, I like this Violence album. There's a bit of like a hardcore, punky hardcoreness to this, but not ton. A little bit of death metal-y feels going towards it, but it's just way more of a thrash metal album than anything else. Sick record. I think this came out in 88. Yeah, 88. Excellent band. This one I wanted in the collection for a while, but it's always been like priced out of my price range. Super sick. This was a big one. This was a Facebook Marketplace score. Omen. Yeah, Omen Warning of Danger. Nice. Early. Somebody got real lucky. This wasn't me, but somebody got real lucky on this one. Found it for 99 cents at the Goodwill. How awesome would that be? Go into the Goodwill and score this bad boy. That shit don't happen anymore. But yeah, this is a great early power metal, speed metal classic right here. I like the debut a touch better, but this is a banging record. Super stoked to put this in the collection. Even came with the inner. Came with the original inner and everything. Another Metal Blade Scorcher. Almost a... Yeah, this is a big Metal Blade. Big Metal Blade update here. It's in real good shape. And I got this. This was pretty cheap, dude. I think this was like $14, $15. I think it was $14, I think I spent on this. I think the guy was selling it for 14 bucks, and I jumped on it. Very cool. So now I've got this, and I've got the Nightmares EP. I still have to find their other records, so. But yeah, super awesome. Second one by Omen. Now here's one I've got on tape. And this is Exciters. Violence and Force. Total classic. Canadian thrash metal. Or, well, thrash, speed metal. Borderline on both, but total classic right here. If you like speed metal, thrash metal, you know Exciter. So, very good. This was an awesome pickup for me. And this is This is the Megaforce. Yeah, this is the Megaforce record, so it's an older copy, and this was also an eBay grab. And I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't anything insane. But super excited to have picked this one up too. Here's one that I've been after for a while, and almost exclusively for the album cover, because it's a good record. It's more on the hard rock side than the heavy metal side, but there's some heavy metal licks on there, and that's this Overdose record. This is a repress. This was an eBay find. But yeah, some rare German heavy metal is what it says. Sick stuff. Definitely more on the traditional heavy side. It's not like a thrash metal album at all or anything like that, but it's a good record. It's fun. Got a ridiculous album cover. Can't go wrong with 80s metal with a ridiculous album cover. I actually may just throw this on. I don't know if I'll get a... I could possibly get a copyright on here, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to put this on real quick. And I'll be right back, because I've got about... I've only got 3 more, so... Not going to hold you guys up too much longer. Alright. A couple more records here. Not the best Riot record. Oh, I've got 4 more. Not the worst Riot. Not the worst Riot record. But found this for cheap. Restless Breed. It's pretty. I think it's a pretty middling kind of heavy metal record. I like it, but nowhere near as much as the 2 before this. Yeah, pretty good. Can't go wrong with a Riot record. More eBay finds here. It's an older copy too, which is cool. I like getting the older copies. It's cool to get a repress if it's cheap enough, but I prefer to get like, maybe not exactly an OG, but like a copy that's actually from the 80s. Maybe an OG, I don't know. I'm not that kind of collector. I just know I liked Riot, and this record was cheap. It's not even the right. So, the Drain record was $21.99, not this Riot record. Another one that's got a great cover. Probably. I actually kind of love the cheesiness of this album, because the whole album's cheesy. The record cover kind of fits how cheesy the album is. But that's Digger, which is just Grave Digger, but for some reason they cut off Grave for this album. I think they were trying to like work their way into like a hair metal thing or something. I don't know, but Grave Digger does good like a speed metal, a little bit thrashy, not super thrashy, but this one's a little less on that side. Maybe this was like their attempt to be like more commercial or something. I don't know. But look at this. They look like they're going to a Jimmy Buffett concert. At least this guy does right here. But yeah, it's a good record. I actually really did just buy this because I love this album cover. This album cover is so ridiculous that I couldn't help myself. I've been looking for it for years. This is on Noise International, so Noise Records, classic old heavy metal record label. Good shit. Let's see. Another classic. This one's an Atlantic. It's on a major label. But I really like this band. At least on this one, they're trying to be a little more on the heavy side, but that's Malice. But their last one was like a budget bin Judas Priest almost, and in a good way. But this one's trying to dig a little further into the thrash, and they don't really get completely there. They're a little too dug into like the hard rock in the background. But this is a little thrashier than their earlier, the one before this. But this is still this is a good album. This album pulls way more above its weight than its price, I think, in my opinion. The dudes on the back look so cheesy. Look at those shoulder pads, man. Come on now. And this guy's wearing straight up pirate shirt. So yeah, they have like a bit of like the glam look. And this is like, it's 87, so like you should know better at this point. But yeah, good record. I really like it. It kind of fits the cover, but good stuff. I like Malice. I think their first, this one, and forget what it's called, but the one before this, I really like. Cool stuff. On Atlantic Records, this is just it's on Atlantic Records. This is an original from '88. This was a Facebook Marketplace find. No real like super heavy hitters in this one. This is probably the heaviest hitter, and it's a comp. Old Neat Records comp. So this was a cool find on Facebook or on eBay, and it was pretty cheap. It actually, I got it with this. I got this and this from the same seller. So I picked up this Boris Vallejo book, which is really cool, like 70s fantasy artwork. You should know who Boris Vallejo is. But he's one of my favorite old fantasy artists, up there with Frank Frazetta. But I picked this up for $15. Lead Weight, heavy metal compilation from Neat Records. It's got all kinds of good stuff on here. It's got Raven, White Spirit, Venom, Axe, Blitzkrieg, Aragorn, Fist, Axis, Bitch's Sin, Warrior, and Satan's Empire, who I've never heard of, actually. So, I haven't actually listened to this yet. I picked it up a few months ago, and it kind of got put on the back burner. So this will probably go on after Overdose, now that I think about it. But this is an OG from Neat Records, and I've been flirting with the thought of starting to collect Neat Records LPs and possibly 7 inches, but I don't know if I want to invest that hard into the price tag of single records right now. But this was a cool find, and I was pretty stoked to pick it up. Anything on old Neat Records, I'd probably just pick up instantly if the price was like less than $20, like $20 or less. I'd probably just grab it. But yeah, this is a cool find. There's a bunch of cool photos on the back here of all the bands. And yeah, this is a good addition to my Newub collection. Even though I don't specifically collect new wave of British heavy metal stuff, I would love to, but like I said, that stuff gets pricey, and I'm not one that likes to just drop a ton of money on a single record all the time. But anyway, that's it. That's all my heavy metal finds over the past 3 to 5 months. Just stuff has just been piling up, and I haven't been doing as many videos, so things have been slipping past here and there. So I was on a big kick of hardcore and punk for a while, and now I'm on a big kick of just listening. I've been listening to like almost solely doom metal CDs, because that's what I've been picking up. So maybe next pickup videos will be doom metal CDs. Let me know if you're interested, if you make it this far. If you made it this far and you're interested, let me know in the comments. But anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys next time.